What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from MTGHeadQuarters, and as we've now hit our goal on Patreon of unlocking standard, I've built and been playing on stream 2 different standard decks. These decks are not my original creation. They're an amalgamation of net decking. I'm going to talk about what I play and some of the changes that I think I want to make to these decks. So this is Mono Green Eldrazi. It's been doing really well online. And I've probably only lost a few matches with it, and I'm a new player, so some of those matches were probably just due to my inexperience. It's a basic ramp deck running 24 lands, where you have 4 Sanctum of Ugins, 4 Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, like you would expect, a single copy of Waste, and a single copy of Crumbling Vestige. The rest are just forests. Then I run Oath of Nissa for cycling, finding the creatures when I need them, or getting the land or the ramp spells I need. 4 copies of Rattleclaw Mystic, and 3 copies of Whisper of the Wilds, both ramp package, and 2 copies of Hedron Crawler. One, Hedron Crawler is nice for ramp, but it also gives you access to a waste, which a lot of times I'll play like turn 1, Oath of Nissa, turn 2, Hedron Crawler, turn 3, Thought-Knot Seer, and that's very powerful. Then I run 4 copies of Nissa's Pilgrimage. I'm considering going down to 2 copies of that and like 2 copies of Explosive Vegetation and running 4 copies of Sylvan Advocate. I'm not sure. This deck does struggle with a few things I'm going to talk about later. Then 4 copies of Explosive Vegetation. The full list will be in the description below, by the way, so don't worry about writing anything down or anything like that. 3 copies of Thought-Knot Seer, 4 copies of Hedron Archive. Okay, so that's all your ramp package, basically. Thought-Knot Seer just because it's too good not to run. 4 copies of Worldbreaker, which is absolutely backbreaking if you cast it on like turn 4 or something like that. 2 copies of Ugin, Planeswalker, and 2 copies of Ulamog. Ultimately, if you're casting Ulamog on like turn 6 or something like that, the opponent's just scooping. The deck is fun to play, for sure. Now let's go to the sideboard. This is definitely open to interpretation. I'm actually pretty sure I'm going to get rid of Reclaiming Vines. So it runs 2 Reclaiming Vines, 3 copies of Winds of Seisma, which I really like. In aggressive matchups, it's very powerful. 4 copies of Jotty Offshoot for the same reason. 2 copies of Spatial Contortion. 3 copies of Oblivion Soarer, and an additional copy of Ugin. So I've probably played this deck about 20 times, and in my experience, I'm almost always putting Oblivion Soarer in. So I'm actually either considering just putting Oblivion Soarer in the main deck and being done with it, or that's one thing I'm considering. The Sylvan Advocate thing, I'm also considering. The deck does run up against some problems with a red-black aggro deck that is running like Kalidas, Thunderbreak Regent, and other 4-drop bombs in red and black. And the deck does okay against flyers, but early flyers give me a lot of trouble because I can block them with Worldbreaker, but if they're getting those out on turn 3 or 4, I'm taking way too much damage before I can put out a blocker unless I'm totally on curve, right? So I actually thought about, I know this might be crazy, but sideboarding some plummets or something like that if I keep facing that. I don't know if that's a good or a bad idea, but something to deal with the flyers in matchups like that at an earlier pace, because even running the offshoots are nice, but when they're dealing 4 or 8 in the air on turn 5, there's very little I can do against that, and it puts me so far behind. Now, the Winds of Seisma will slow that down. I've never, in all my matches, had to board in Reclaiming Vine, so that would come out for like 2 plummets or something like that. But this deck is a lot of fun, and it's actually pretty affordable. Like, outside of the Ugins, which you wouldn't necessarily have to play, the Ulamogs are fairly priced right now. The only thing I thought was a little crazy were the Worldbreakers. At least online, they were like 12 or 13 bucks. So that kind of ran the cost of the deck up. But I think I built this for under 200 using MTGHeadQuarters. But overall, this is the Mono Green Eldrazi deck that I've been playing and really like. And I wanted to share this deck tech with you guys over on YouTube. And you can watch me play this deck live at twitch.tv/MTGHeadQuarters. Thanks for watching this video. We'll talk to you again real soon. What's up, and thanks for watching this video. I produce all different kinds of content, so if you haven't yet, click on my face to subscribe. If you want to watch more videos, I've got some sweet playlists, including this one, where I open up every fat pack ever created. I've also got this one over here where I open just about anything vintage and old and expensive for your enjoyment. And all this is made possible by the awesome backers at our Patreon, which is linked in the description of every video. Hop on over there, check it out, see if it's something you might want to consider. If not, sit back, enjoy, and I'll still love you.